What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy from Ingrained to Train, and I'm just dropping a quick message. There was a picture that popped up on my social media that really resonated with me. It was a quote about ships not sinking because of the water around them; they sink because of the water that gets inside them. And it just made me think back to a time when things were just going awful in my life. Nothing I did ever worked out. I couldn't find a job. The NFL didn't want me. I had this college degree, all the student loan debt, and just wasn't able to pay it. I was 23 years old, lived with my mom in her basement. Just nothing was going right. And for a while, I was just, letting the world consume me, listening to the news about the economy being bad and, some negative self-talk and complaining and playing the victim and, just negative talk with other people about, the state of the country. And, there's just shouldn't have been a surprise that things weren't going right in my life. And, that all changed for me when I, read the book, The Secret. Great book. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. But, one of the things that right away I realized that my self-talk was so negative that I was bringing in more negativity in my life. And as each day went on, I was more and more negative, so things just kept getting worse. So, after reading the book, I bought a notebook and I forced myself to, be grateful, say positive things. Even if I didn't feel it, I just, did it every single day, forced myself. I remember saying, thank you, and I would put 83 cents of gas in my car. That's all I had, hoping I could get to and from the gym to train. And, over time, I just felt better. That was the first thing I noticed. I felt better. And then shortly after, the bad stuff stopped happening. And slowly but surely, like the good things, were happening, little things here and there. And it was pretty phenomenal, so I just kept going with it. And over time, like my life just really slowly, surely started to change for the better. But the real breakthrough came. So when people hear that quote about, letting water, sink the ship, is, there's people think, oh, the obvious. Oh, well, I don't want to be around negative people or drama-filled people, because nobody does, and that's important. Stay away from toxic people. But one thing I realized was, even though I was thinking positive, I was still subtly exposing myself to a lot of negativity. And here's how. Television and music. One of my favorite things to do was come home, watch, cop shows, Law and Order, First 48, Law and Order SVU, Almost Got Away with It, Snapped. All these shows were very entertaining, very good shows, very negative. It was negative, and consciously I told myself that it was just entertainment, it was just a TV show. But what I didn't realize was that at a subconscious level, it was still affecting me without realizing it. And what really turned me on to, how entertainment was affecting me without realizing it, was I was listening to a speech by Darren Hardy, CEO of Success Magazine, great speaker. He has a lot of videos on YouTube, check him out, powerful stuff. One of the things he said was, like, he's talked about your mind being like a cup of, empty cup. And whatever you pour in there, it holds, whether it's clean, pure water, whether it's cyanide, whether it's mother's milk, whatever you put in there, it's going to hold. He said your mind is the same way. And he used that as a metaphor, to watching, TV. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I do watch a lot of, like I said, cop shows and things like that. So I was like, I'm going to cut the TV off. I'm going to increase how many books I read and how often I write. And literally 2 days later, I was like, all right, I realized really quick that TV was not adding any value to my life. There was, I realized that I was feeling even better. I was more productive. And I really felt like I had more control of my day rather than letting my day control me. And this is when things really took off for me. Just one amazing thing after another, after another, after another. And it just continues to happen today. I read a lot of books, I don't do the TV thing anymore. And, I just make sure every day that I'm doing, something positive. If I'm in the car, I'm listening to an audio book or a motivational talk on YouTube. I'm writing in a journal at night. Just all these different things. If you follow me on social media, I'm always posting, the motivational quotes, and it's for the reason, I want to put that vibe, that energy out there, because I know, one, it'll attract back to me, but also to really somebody may need to read that day. You know, when I was going through my thing, you know, I really wish somebody was saying like, hey, you know, you can do it, or, you know, one of those positive quotes, because it helps. And, you know, reading The Secret really helped me out. So I just know how important it is to send that energy out. So yeah, when, you know, you read that quote, just really make sure that, you know, obviously, you know, stay away from the obvious negative things like toxic people, toxic environments, but also pay attention to the subtle negative things out there. You know, the negative TV shows, you know, the music you listen to, things like that. Even your self-talk, you know, sometimes you don't realize how often you say, you know, you can't do something or something sucks. You know, it just begin, you know, a habit of yours, and, you know, you just don't realize how many times it comes out of your mouth. So just really take the time to really, you know, expose yourself to positive and enlightening things, and just watch how much your life changes. All right, it's just, you know, quick message. Thanks for listening. Again, follow us on our social media, Ingrain the Train, Instagram, Ingrain the Train via Facebook, you know, Jimmy I2T on Twitter, you know, and just, you know, thanks for all the help and support. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You know, we'll get back to you and, you know, try to help you as much as we can. Thanks.